So is this on? Yeah. So I'm Seán Leamy, I'm head of SEO for VROOM Digital, and my next seminar will be on fitness in about an hour's time. But apart from that, we are a digital marketing agency based over in Windsor Place, just off Stephen's Green, and personally I look after SEO and search engine marketing at VROOM Digital. So hopefully what you're going to learn today is a lot about SEO and a bit about AdWords as well. So for small businesses, it's important that you align your goals and you get a healthy mix of both AdWords and SEO. So quickly before we get started, I'm just going to explain what AdWords and SEO is. So you might have seen when you do a search on Google that you'll get the ads at the top, which is usually like a little yellow advertising box, and then you'll have 3 ads at the top and up to 8 on the right hand side. And then what I look after is the SEO, so the organic listings, which is down below. So here's a client of ours, NRC Taxis, and it's a non-branded keyword search term called Taxi Dublin. So if you're out on a night out, trying to get home, you look for Taxi Dublin. So now this company has 3 opportunities to get this piece of business. So there's the ad, which is number 1 at the top, then we come up in the local results, which are really important. I'll get onto that later. And then number 1 down below, it's the organic listing. So the thing about SEO and AdWords and marketing through the search engine is it's not a case of just throwing paint at the wall and hoping that it sticks. You have to be targeted with your approach, and you need to make sure that, if you're a dentist based in Luke and you're a small business, you don't have a lot of budget, that you're going after keywords that are completely related to your business. Then you want to make sure that it's measurable through your analytics and that it's ROI focused, so that you're making sure that every penny is accounted for, because that's so important as a small business. And then your budget dictates your strategy, basically. So if you have a small budget and you're looking for short-term gains, you're probably going to go down the AdWords route. Well, if you have a bit of time and a bit more budget, you're probably going to go down SEO, which is going to take, different time frames for different results, but I'll speak about that a little bit later. So another thing that you need to look at is you need to know what you're holding with your website, because, at the start, it's always great getting your first website up there, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't convert, there's no point spending money on AdWords and SEO. So you can't put lipstick on a pig. I know it's a funny saying, but literally if your website doesn't convert, there's no point holding on to it anymore. You just get a new website, get started again, and get a website that actually converts. So everything that you do online is trackable, because you have analytics, which is what I'm going to get onto now, and everything can be tracked. If it's sales, if you're an e-commerce business, you're going to track all your sales. If you're like maybe a brochure website, you're going to need to track your leads and inquiries. So your analytics data is gold, and that goes across both AdWords and SEO. So how SEO works, it works through kind of 3 different ways. It goes through your local SEO, your on-site SEO, and your off-page SEO. So I'll get started with the local SEO. So it comes in a variety of different results, really. It comes with a 3-pack, which is on the left, and a 6-pack on the right. It can go all the way up to 7, but these are kind of the main ones in Ireland at the moment. And as a small business, these results are so achievable, and it's something that, like in every SEO campaign we do, we focus on this at the start, because you can get good, quick results with it. So on-page SEO, this is the foundation of any SEO campaign we look at. So when a client comes to us, we'll immediately audit their website, make sure that everything's right. So there's over 60 on-page ranking factors, and there's a few of them here. The main ones is your domain, your authority, your URL structure, your sitemap, making sure it's accessible to the search engine, your information architecture, your title tags, which has all your keywords, your meta descriptions, your content, and your H1 tags. But it's important that with any SEO campaign that you do, you just get these right straight away from the start. So this is a client of ours, Ballybunion Golf Club, and they came to us middle of January, I think it was, and we performed an SEO audit for them. And as you can, I don't know why this line's going through everything, but when we first of all, we conducted the audit. We identified all the different areas that we needed to target. Then we implemented the audit, which you can see, it's hard to see in the screenshot, but around the end of January, and you can see they had a nice increase, right up 32.5% increase in organic traffic, that is. So, it's a brilliant result, and it's just a good example of when you get the simple things right from the start, you can get a great increase in traffic. So, as I mentioned earlier, different industries take different time frames to get results. So if you're in a non-competitive industry, let's say like a niche industry, maybe like dentist, Lucan, or something along them lines, it can take, typically 3 months to see results. Then maybe a more competitive industry might 3 to 6 months, closer to the 6 months. And then, in insurance and them sort of competitive big brand industries, it can take 9 to 12 months to rank. So next. So I'm just going to take a drink, one sec. So off-page SEO. Before I get started, you're going to hear this a lot, like a link, and everybody talks about links these days. And yes, they are important, and although they've had a bit of a bad rep sometimes, they're really important for SEO. So a link, it comes in many different forms, but the basic form is if you look at the green box on the left, you'll see this kind of blue underlined link. It either comes like that or it can come with a keyword underlined, but basically what it is when you click on it, it links back to your website. And these are like, you need these for your SEO campaign to succeed. So off-page SEO, so that's it's a combination of links, which I just said, citations, which are like from directory websites, which is a direct business reference, so of your address, so it looks like just here below. And it's important that these are exactly what Google has listed, because Google sees these, identifies them, puts them together, and then that helps your SEO overall. Then we look at blogging, which Greg's already talked about, which is so important for SEO at the moment. It's so topical. Content is king, and take one thing away, go and start your content in your social media today. So Cuckoo Events, they're a client of ours, and they're just a really good example of getting everything right across the board. He literally ticks every box. And here's a example of event management company that's a non-branded keyword search term. And again, he doesn't run AdWords, but it's just SEO. Ranks locally and #1 below. And you know, it's down to because he got stuff right from the start. He has good on-page SEO. He has a strong brand. He has great links and a great blog. So he's a perfect example of why you should get everything right. Tick all the boxes. There's no point. It's your business. You might as well go with it. Tick all the boxes and get it right from the start. So I have a few ideas for you to go home maybe and think. Have a bit of a brainstorm with everyone, but there's lots of ways to get links, and people say it's hard to build links these days. It's not about building them, it's about earning the links. So, you know, you can go onto local directories like Yelp and Yalwa and these sort of things, and they're good advertisements for your business. What's another good one. And they're actual websites that get a bit of search traffic and leave reviews, and you know, they can help out your kind of starting point in your SEO campaign. Then we look at guest posting websites, so you can go part and ask people, ask other influencers, that sort of thing, ask them to blog on their site, see if they'll blog on yours, and just get general relationships going online for the power of the links coming back. Then you need to look at like kind of what associations you might be a member of, like Dublin Chamber, any of these kind of associations, because they usually have members directories which will allow you to get a link back to your site, which is great for your SEO. And then you need to look at your business partners. So you might have charity partners, you might have suppliers who have like authorized reseller sections on their website, and this is just like the perfect place to get a link, because it's a natural link, it's relevant to your business. If people come across it, it adds like authoritative value as well, because they instantly recognize you with the brand and everything. So we're going to tweet out a tweet in a second about it with Spiders Workshop hashtag, and I have a bit of a PDF there. You can go on, grab it, and then it'll give you a bit more in-depth detail on each of these. So a lot of big Irish brands, a lot of flour companies, that sort of thing, have been hit with penalties over the years. And the main two being like a manual and an algorithmic penalty. So a manual penalty is when someone physically in Google sees that your site's trying to like spam the search engine or trying to get an upper hand. So they come onto your website, see they built bad links, and they're like, okay, manual penalty. They send you a message in your webmaster, you have to recover from it. You've done something wrong. It's a slap on the wrist. Then you have your algorithmic penalties, which is your Penguin and your Panda updates. So your Penguin goes after low quality links. And there's a list of them there. Literally the rule with Penguin is, if it's easy to get, then don't bother getting it. If it takes no work, then the link's probably bad. Then you have your Panda update, which is content again, and content's so important. And you know, it's not even important from the search engine point of view, it's important from user as well. Like, if there's no point on a user coming onto your website and reading 50 words of content about your business, that's not going to sell a product or a service to them. So you might as well write the content really good, have your keywords in there, and don't obviously stuff them in there like people used to do, and make sure that you're not robbing the content from anyone else. So Precious Petals, this is a manual action penalty. A client of ours, they came to us with the penalty, so we didn't actually get them the penalty. So we identified the problem, then we put together a list of all the bad links, we disavowed them in Webmaster Tools, and you can see here that it took a few months to get it like reconsidered, and then Google sends you out a message saying, okay, we're going to consider your request, and then it's literally in their hands. You don't know when you're going to recover. But as you can see here, all the way right up, you know, this when his penalty got removed, the beginning to recover here from his manual penalty, and then you can see his traffic coming up nicely, doubling right up until February and March. And I know February's Valentine's Day and all that, but he still had an even better March. And you can see it better from his revenue here, that you think that February's going to be his best month, but as soon as he starts to recover in November, December, peaks again in March and peaks again peaks again in February and then peaks again in March, which is brilliant. So that leads to the question, do rankings drive sales? And a lot of people say that rankings and sales don't go hand in hand anymore because people are searching different and all that, but in actual fact it does. As you've seen from Precious Petals, as soon as his rankings came back on Google, straight away got sales again. So it's kind of like a big vicious circle that's not so vicious. It's rankings, you get your traffic, then traffic, you get leads, leads to sales and revenue. And then once you start doing this and Google see, people are trusting your website, buying off your website, staying on it longer, you'll rank higher again. So it's just like one big circle. But the trick is not to rank for irrelevant keywords, random keywords. Like you want to go after your location-based keywords, all the keywords that are completely relevant to your business. So social media as well has a big part to play in SEO, and a lot of SEOs don't really touch on it, but it's important that, like, as a small business, you need to make sure you have all the bases covered, and social media being one of them. So, if you can action these points from today, if you haven't already gone and set up your profile, go and set it up. Make sure you start to grow your following and engage with your audience. Social media is all about engagement. It's all well and good just putting out articles from your blog and all, but, it really doesn't work unless you're engaging. So one little rule we tend to tell our clients to stick to this kind of 10-4-1 rule. So every 15 posts, so 10 of them are general news posts trying to interact with people, then 4 are promoting your blog posts. And then one thing that businesses don't really do so well anymore is actually promote themselves. And you either have one hand, you have the extreme where everybody promotes themselves every tweet and it just doesn't work, and then you have the ones who don't. So it's always good to send out a little gentle reminder of who you are and that you're still actually selling a product. So blogging then is the second most important thing you can do right now. Is so go back, if you have a news section on your website, rethink it. So start a blog with a purpose. Come up with an idea based around your target audience. So you need to find out, have a brainstorming session, see, okay, my target audience is this person, I need to write content that they're going to like, because if they're not enjoying the content, there's no point. So, and then integrate it with your social media. So when you are tweeting out your blog posts, making sure you're using hashtags and stuff to get the most relevant coverage you can. So I know all this can be quite overwhelming, go and start a blog, writing content every week, doing social media every day, but if you just focus on one metric for each of them, it'll make it a lot easier. You can measure it a lot easier, and then that's it. So for blogging, look at your traffic coming to the site, and for social media, look at your engagement. So with SEO, the trick is that it needs to be done regularly the whole time. It's not something that you can just start and stop. So there's no point going to an SEO agency or starting yourself, doing a great blog post, great social media for a week. It's just no point. It needs to be done weekly, monthly, yearly. So, but the thing about SEO is that you can get so much out of it. It's a long-term investment, but the rewards really can be huge. So if I can give you one piece of advice, sorry about the freaky image, but stop putting it on the long finger and just start today. That's it.
Thanks very much, Seán.